Hello and welcome to my channel sjm.photos. My name is Stuart James and this is my first ever video. Hopefully you'll stay and watch the whole thing because this is the first time I'm generally never in front of the camera. I'm normally the other side and it's very strange at the moment seeing myself reflecting in the lens here, and yeah, it's a bit daunting. I'm not a nervous person, but this is out of my comfort zone. Like I say, I'm normally the other side of the camera, so here goes. So please bear with me until I start getting used to this. This is yeah, fun. Anyway, right, I thought I would quickly talk about myself so you kind of get to know what I'm about and who I am and things like that. I am from East Sussex in England, and obviously you can tell by my accent. I have done many things in my life, but most of it is to do with photography. I love it. Have done for probably close to 30 years now, and from the age of around about 12 I started selling images and practicing back in the film days, so way before digital ever appeared. And yeah, so it's changed a lot since I started, and obviously for many people out there who do photography as well and have done for a long time, they've experienced what I have, the digital influx over the film, and you know, that sort of all changed the world really, which is fabulous in many respects. But yeah, so please check out my website. It's www.sjm.photos. There's plenty of things on there to have a good look at. I do a range of different styles of photography, from portraiture, advertising, equestrian stuff, macro. Just a nice big range really. Try and get into the arty side of things a bit more during different times of the year. Try and document our local scenery, which is beautiful in East Sussex, everywhere from Bodiam Castle to the Seven Sisters Country Park near Eastbourne, places like that. You can never really get enough of it, especially when the weather's beautiful, or even when it's actually terrible, rough, blowy winds and huge waves and, you know, things like that. So anyway, please check it out and have a look. Anyway, I thought I would kick the first little video off with a lens review and the reason I bought it and the reason I love it. You know, it's not what most people would go for nowadays because they want speed, they want autofocus, they want, you know, stormproofing, they want, you know, all the mod cons. But obviously, to do with cost, time, and things like that, yes, you need speed, but actually sometimes it's nice to actually slow down, step back, and actually go a bit more traditional. So anyway, I have here the Samyang 135 f2 lens. It's fully manual. There's not any connections on the back of the lens at all, so it doesn't even communicate with the camera. So it's very important obviously to turn off the recognise a lens in the camera menus. So basically we'll still take a photo, otherwise it will just say there's no lens attached. It's well made, £369 I paid for mine, and it's very sharp even at f2, so wide open. It's made in Korea. They have their own lens department, so they actually make not just the outer, they actually make the glass itself. So all the elements that are in here, they actually physically machine and make themselves. It is an E-mount. I use the Sony A7R II and the A6300, so I'm a mirrorless user now. I used to use 35mm film, and also even I had you know, some bigger formats as well. But you know, now I've moved from the DSLRs into DSLRs and then now onto mirrorless, and it works for what I do. You know, it just works. Some people still swear by their DSLRs and say, you know, they're the best thing on the planet, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what camera you're using nowadays, they all generally are amazing. You know, even the high end stuff to the moderate stuff to even the cheaper stuff now is just incredible for what it can produce. Anyway, back to this lens. For me personally, it just slows me down. It makes me think, especially when I'm using it it's more of a portraiture lens. That I mean, I use it for products and things as well, but generally for portraiture. So doing modelling work and things like that, and I will attach some photos further down the video later on. and it's lovely. It's super smooth. It's quite heavy to turn, but actually in a positive way, rather than, you know, being too light and too, like on some of the lenses I've used, they're very easy to spin, so you can knock it out of focus very easily. But actually this is quite nice. You can sort of progress quite nicely through it. The aperture hasn't got a silent function, unfortunately, but it's got a nice clicky, and it's positive. The aperture opens up to f2, which is nice and wide, plenty of light going in, and because I think it's either a 9 or 11 aperture blades, it gives a beautiful circular bokeh behind, so the outer focus circles that you see sometimes in photos, if you're not familiar, it can really add a beautiful sort of light and feel to the image that you're taking. I've enjoyed using it with Sony A7R II and the A6300, the A6500, and the new A9. You get focus magnifier and peaking. Peaking basically gives you on screen some lines. It shows you what is in focus. So I can choose. I mean, mine's set at red, so you can have yellow and white, but I set mine as red because it's more dominant. And it will show you. It'll help you get things in focus on a manual scale. So obviously this is fully manual, so you need a little bit of assistance generally, especially if I'm doing some modelling work and the model is quite a long way away, and I'm doing maybe a full body shot with a 135, so she could be 30 feet away, 20 or 30 feet away. To get the eyes in focus, which is one of the most important things in portraiture, that's almost impossible, especially at f2, so your depth is very shallow. With the Sony, I can literally push my custom button 1, which I've set for the focus magnifier, and it will double the magnification and then double again on the third push, so I can see quite clearly into the middle of the photo. I can fine-tune my focus, take a picture. Works really well. I mean, I'm so impressed with it. It's unbelievable. It's made this lens extremely usable, and like I say, for £369, an absolute bargain. The other competition out there is obviously if you buy a Canon version lens, I can put an adapter on it and it'll work. If you're a Canon user, you can buy this, or a Nikon user, you can buy this. It probably is a lot harder to use on the Canon and Nikons than it is the mirrorless bodies from Sony, and I'd imagine some of the other makes, maybe Fuji or someone, I think, are mirrorless. And you know, it just works. And also the price difference between, say, the Sigma Art series, the new 135 f1.8, is I think £1,400. So £1,400 versus 369, plus for that mount to fit, it's a Canon mount, so I'd have to buy an adapter for it to make it fit as well, which is about £200. So you're looking at £1,600 before you've even, you know, got it working. So, and you know, it's, as much as the Sigma is an amazing lens, sorry, it's, yeah, I mean, I could have bought it quite happily, but I don't think I would have got the most out of it for the money. This I love because I can use this as a teaching tool as well, because everything is fully manual. Students will be able to, you know, have a play with it and understand fully what it's doing, rather than just being mechanical, controlled by computer, obviously via the camera. So that makes a difference. The only quibble I've got about this lens is this. It's a bit annoying. I'm going to fix it with a tiny little blob of silicone sealant just somewhere here, just to give it a little bit of an end that it's set, and then it will give it just a little bit of grip to go on here. I'll get it on there. Yeah, it's just a bit annoying. You kind of don't expect it nowadays. Hey, it may just be a bad fitting hood, I don't know. This is the only one I've ever held, so I can't really moan too much. I may give Samuel a quick call, or send him an email and just ask him, is it a normal thing to rattle? If it isn't, maybe they'll send me a new hood. Who knows? You know, but we'll leave it at that. I will add some photos later to the video. Thanks for watching. See you later.